Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. Last October, advertising holding company WPP took the ad industry by surprise when it merged two of its agencies, Wunderman Thompson and VMLY&R, to form VML. Interestingly, these two creative agencies were product of previous mergers done by WPP back in 2018. The new APAC Co-CEOs, Audrey Kuah and Yi Chung Tae, were given the charge of the region just a couple of months later. Audrey was visiting Mumbai recently, a market that she says she loves to visit. We spoke to her about forming VML, why it made sense, what were the key challenges in doing so, and industry reaction to WPP killing brand JWT. Audrey, welcome to CNBC-TV18.
Thank you.
Audrey, it was just in October that WPP announced this major evolution of VMLY&R merging with Wunderman Thompson. It's been 8 months.
Yep.
How is the new agency over the past 8 months?
Well, maybe I'll start with a little anecdote, right?
Yeah.
So when we merged, in one of our markets, we were both pitching for a piece of business, right? And when the news was announced, we both actually at the same time got into the shortlist. And it was two of us. And the client said, we actually like both ideas. And since you're now coming together, can we get both? Because if not, we would have had to choose one or the other. And we felt the decision would be suboptimal, right? So we actually picked up the business collectively. And then we're bringing the work together now. And then we've got a very happy client. So like I say, interesting anecdote. But when the news was announced and when that pitch was happening and we, like I said, got news that we won, that was a very nice story to tell the teams because it was really that we're bringing the best of both, right? We had brand and creative, we have data and tech and all that. In today's world, clients want to see that come together holistically, right? And we picked up that business. So I think that was a very heartwarming start to that story, right? But I think globally, when we brought the two companies together, and the story replicates across the world, is that we actually, as two companies, were already working together on almost 50% of our clients, doing different parts of the business. So sometimes, VMLY&R will be doing, say, brand and commerce, and we were doing data and marketing transformation and technology, right? So we were actually working together already on more than 50% of our business. So I think when we came together, a couple of our principles was we will start with where we were, together already and build from that because that's your fastest proof points. Teams feel comfortable because they were already working together, right? So we started with a lot of that kind of work and collaboration and building. And like I said, a merger of this size will not always be, very easy. So I think some of the, tougher parts where we were looking at how we bring teams together, be better together and all that, we still got through that.
And it is formally operational, I believe, from January 2024.
Yeah.
Around the same time, you were announced as the co-CEO
yes, with my colleague,
of VML. Tell us, what were some of the initial challenges that you had to address as the co-CEO?
I think some of the initial challenges was really bringing two halves together, right? So in APAC specifically, we were both about 2,500 people, right? Basically operating quite obviously separately in the past. So one of the things me and Yi Chung agreed at the outset was, we would kind of start bringing people together and actually as quickly as March, which is really fast if you think of mergers of a certain scale. Yeah. In March, we brought all our CEOs, all our capability leaders, all practice leaders into Singapore for a summit because we felt that the fastest way for people to get to know and learn and to work together is to actually know each other, right? So we managed to bring everybody in. And like I said, huge, fantastic sharing.
I'll tell you something, when the announcement came in, there were a lot of articles and blogs written on RIP Creativity or RIP Creative Agency, Digital Triumphs Again. Being a leader at VML, your talent is reading all of this.
Yeah.
How do you address, something like this coming their way when the agencies are going through a merger? And how do you, answer some of your clients who are reading stories like this? Because JWT was an agency, a legacy agency that many creatives and some of the glorious creative peoples from the industry have worked, are passionately attached to. So how do you deal with that?
Well, firstly, I'm an ex-JWT person. So I was born in JWT, literally, right? So my first step into advertising was in JWT. So,
Wow.
So interestingly enough, I've always said I felt very comfortable addressing, some of the departures of fabled names, right? And I always say this, I said, we have brought genuinely the best of all these brands. Y&R, for example, was world-renowned for brand asset valuator, right? A way of looking at brands as value. And that was when it was launched in the 50s, was a concept like crazy, like you can value brands. Today, brand finance, brand Z and all this built off the back, right, of that kind of thinking. Brand asset valuator in the VML world is front and center for our strategic planning process, okay? It's right there still. So has it gone away? Absolutely not. It still powers, right, how we think and feel. JWT, as a young planner, when I joined, one of the most inspiring pieces of JWT was the briefing template. Very simple. It has to be one page because we want briefing to be more inspiring. It's brainstorm. It's a start point. It is not the end. It's not the questions to answer. Today, globally, the VML new creative briefing template, it's a one-pager inspired by that, right? So if you like. And so on. VML, right? A great energy, right? In being one of the biggest agencies in the US, driving integrated CX, creative, and all of that. We bring that spirit in the way we build connected brands end-to-end work, right? Wunderman's history is data, tech, CRM. Lester Wunderman actually pioneered the postcode, the concept of using zip codes for direct marketing. Today, if you look at the work we do in commerce, omnichannel, data, CRM, one of the critical variables in a database is still your postcode. I'll come back to India again. We have very, very long-standing relationships. So again, I was here when I was announcing, so I called some clients, I spoke personally and I informed them. And a lovely one client whom I think we've been working with for 80 years, something like that, amazing. And he said, in whatever avatar you are, you've always done well by our business. And I don't see this changing, right? I mean, JWT as well, it was HDA, then it was JWT. So it's gone through like some naming convention change, right? But the client was lovely. The client just said, we ourselves have changed, right? We've evolved. You guys have evolved alongside, which is why we can keep an 80-year-old partnership. And his point is, we will continue to evolve. And as long as you do right by our business or by our brand, and he loved his beautiful line. He says, whatever avatar you're known, you are still my partner, right? So that's a lovely phrase. And that's how I communicate to teams, that we haven't lost the best of us, right? They look a little bit different, but it is still there, front and center.
That's wonderfully put. But Audrey, you are someone who visits India market very often.
Yes.
A crucial market for VML. Tell us your expectations from the country.
Well, firstly, macroeconomic conditions, country is rocking it. So my expectations of the market, and very ambitious companies, companies who kind of want to punch above that, more than punch above there, but really make their mark, right, in the category or in industry, growing penetration, that kind of very bold and ambitious kind of thinking. So my point to the team is, when I sit with our clients, I feel that, ambition. So how do we as a company step up as the ambitious partner as well, right? And so my expectations for the country, like I said, is better creativity, better solutions, more innovations. And I call India, in technology, is what a full stack, right? You can be a full stack developer or a full stack software person. India for us is a full stack market, right? We have everything from strategy, creative, planning, but we have an amazing marketing technology backbone, data analytics, Gen AI, commerce. We do commerce platforms that, are hard enterprise level work, right? So as a full stack market paired with very positive macro factors and very ambitious clients, to me, growth should be,
great formula for growth.
Unlimited. Unlimited is the word.
Audrey, you are someone who has, of course, worked in the agency business to move over to the client side and then coming back to the agency business. From fresh set of eyes, how do you look at, the entire business today? What are some of the challenges and where lie the opportunities?
I will start with opportunities first, right? The agency business has always been at the edge of new, whether it's new technology, new ways of looking at things, new brands, etc., right? It's always been at that edge. You know, I said that in all my years of working in the business, in the agency, technology, I experienced it first in an agency, right? Which is sometimes quite hard to believe, but perhaps, you know, it's just the nature of people, right? I first looked at AI and machine learning and all that in an agency, right? And clients were still, you know, our clients were fascinated, like, hey, what's that? What's that, right?
Wow. Well, all the best for that. Thank you so much. Thanks for this insightful conversation.
Thank you very much. Very, very nice to meet you.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we are joined in by Meghna Agarwal, who is one of the co-founders of workspace provider IndieCube. She is speaking with us about what are some of the key trends shaping the co-working space industry, IndieCube's growth and expansion plans, and more.